So today we're going to talk about solving for an unknown dimension. So this is when you know the surface area, the volume, and you're missing one of the sides or the lengths. Now, the first thing you want to do is select the formula that you're going to use. So based on the shape and then the answer they have for you. Second, you're going to substitute the values into the formula, and then you're just going to simply solve for the unknown dimension or your variable. So in this case, it's x. So just a quick practices, we'll do two together and then you will do the rest on your own. Now the first thing we have is a rectangular prism, so we need to look carefully at our formula sheet and select the rectangular prism, and then since we're given the surface area formula for rectangular prism. So we know that the surface area for rectangular prism is 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the width times the height. So the first thing I know is I'm going to substitute in my values. So I just designated my 13 to be length, my width to be 5, and my unknown x to be height. So it's going to be 2 times 13 times 5 plus 2 times 13 times x plus 2 times 5 times x is equal to 382, and we know that because that's given to us. So the next thing we know, okay, is we're going to combine our like terms and simplify. So we get 130 plus 26x is equal, plus 10x is equal to 382. So now we're going to combine our like terms. Our like terms here are 26x and 10x. So 26 plus 10x would be 36x. Plus 130 is equal to 382. Now you have a simple two-step equation you need to solve. So we're simply just going to subtract 130 from both the left and the right side of the equal sign. So now we're left with 36x is equal to 252. And our last step here will be to divide both the left and the right hand side of the equal sign by 36, because that's our coefficient of x. So we get an answer of 7. So then the unknown dimension would be 7 yards. So that's what x would be equal to. So that was our first example. Now let's go ahead and do example 5, so different shape. So with example 5, we know we have a cylinder with a height of 5.7 millimeters and an unknown radius. So we know that the volume here is going to be 111.8625 millimeters cubed. So using the formula of pi times radius squared times the height, we can set that equal to 111.8625. So using 3.14 for pi times the radius squared, which is x in this case, times the height of 5.7, and set that equal to your volume. So here we're going to multiply 3.14 and 5.7, so we can get 17.898x squared. So now we can just simplify this equation. So we know that we can divide both the left and the right hand side by 17.898, or the coefficient of x. So now we're left with x squared is equal to 6.25. Now it's important to remember that the next step we need to do would be to square root both sides. Okay, because in order to get x by itself we want to square root it, and we get an answer of 2.5 millimeters as our radius. So simply just look at the shape of the figure and pick the appropriate surface area volume formula, and then replace it with the appropriate values given on your figure, and then solve for x. Now it's important for number 2, just a little hint, we have a square, and these little dashes tell us that each of the lengths, the length, the width, and the height in this case are all equal to x. So we know there's 6 faces in a cube. So then to find the area of one of them, it would just simply be x times x, and since there's 6 of them, we would just do 6 times x squared. So that's a little hint for you guys to set that equal to what your surface area is said to be. So go ahead and work on the rest of the problems, and please check your answers with the answer key.